Ms. Aleshia Falconer, a dedicated and compassionate healthcare professional with over a decade of experience as a registered nurse in labor and delivery. Since becoming a midwife in 2020, Aleshia has committed herself to serving Black and Brown families, first at South Brooklyn Health and now at North Central Bronx Hospital. Her passion for midwifery is matched by her purpose-driven approach to care. Aleshia is intentional about ensuring her patients feel heard, valued, and empowered during every interaction. Her work reflects a deep commitment to fostering trust and delivering exceptional care for mothers and families. Please join me in welcoming Aleshia Falconer.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Aleshia, with over a decade of experience in labor and delivery and now as a midwife, what differences have you observed in the postpartum recovery experiences of Black and Brown families, and how do you tailor your care to address their unique needs?
Okay, so I think the previous panelists spoke a lot about, what our focus is, especially for Black and Brown families. But I think I have a unique perspective because I am working in the city hospital system where we don't necessarily have as many resources at our fingertips for them. And I'm also dealing with those who are in lower socioeconomic environments who don't have as many resources that are available to them. So I would say that while the foundation of, I would say, Black and Brown families, as one, especially with my experiences with having children, is we've always been focused on village-centered care, right? But nowadays, we're finding that they don't have that village as much. Because of safety reasons. I'm in the heart of the Bronx where most of my patients are coming from sheltered housing or living in the projects. So it is not as, safe for them to rely on those who are, in their, direct living communities, right? And then also we have the fact that where like in the 80s growing up, your grandparents were able to kind of assist in helping you take care of your children. Most of my families, their parents are still working or not in the country because I do deal with a primarily immigrant population. And then, we have the problem of financial resources where they don't necessarily get to take the full time for recovery, for postpartum recovery, and have to go back to work right away. So I'm finding that is a huge problem that we're dealing with in regards to the patients that I'm dealing with, mostly. How I address these issues is I'm very intentional about seeking out what the resources available to them are in our community because there are so many grant-based programs that unfortunately are not as well known. Granted, a lot of our patients are on social media and can find things out through TikTok and Instagram, which I'm really happy about. But then others who are immigrants don't know how to navigate those systems, right? So they rely on us, their providers, to be able to give them that information. So I kind of try to reach out to, like even here today, like Maria was like, oh, I know somebody who works in psychotherapy here in the Bronx. And I'm like, oh, I need her information because I'm absolutely going to be using her. So yeah, I find that I have to go the extra mile to provide these resources to my patients when they need them. That is a huge part of what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. What are some ways that you empower your patients during their prenatal and postpartum phases to ensure that they feel heard and supported, especially in a healthcare system that can often overlook their voices?
So I would say that, so my clinic appointments, I'm a little bit more fortunate. I do have like 20-minute slots for my patients. So when they come in, we get through the whole, how are you feeling? Is your baby moving? Measuring the belly, all that good stuff. But then I really take a lot of time in learning about what's going on in their lives, right? So how is school going? I try to like jot little notes down. We have the charting system that we have, we can write like little notes, right? So I'll remind myself to ask them next time I see them, how was that exam you took? And it kind of like, you can see their walls falling when they feel like their provider remembers them. Their provider cares about what's happening besides this fetus that's in their belly. So I'm very, very big on getting to know my patients. I was kind of trained. I was trained by midwives who taught me that as their midwife, I'm not just a medical provider. I'm now becoming a part of their family. And so I try to have my patients treat me like one of their family members, so that way they kind of trust me enough to start sharing like those pieces that they probably would have hidden from their provider because they're worried about the stigma that it would cause. And so I'm very intentional about that. I'm intentional about when they do have their partners come to the appointments or whatever support person they have coming to their appointments. I include them. I ask them, are you worrying about how you can support this person through when they're having these different pains, their back pains, and I show them different techniques they can do to massage them, or, just making them feel like they are also a part of the process. So I think my approach to things are a little bit unique because I'm really trying to help them to see that I care more about what's happening with the pregnancy, because I realize that the whole part of their lives are affecting what's affecting their pregnancy, which is a huge part of postpartum mental health. It's if you can't address these things in the prenatal period, it's hard to start chasing it now in the postpartum period. So if you can start kind of getting a hand on it, then it makes it a little bit easier in the postpartum side.
Thank you so much for recognizing that. That's key. I think we notice a trend between providers that actually pay attention to their patients, right? And get to know them and be able to support them individually. It makes such a difference. So thank you for that. I'd like to introduce Miss Maria Mease, a vibrant a vibrant and compassionate certified doula and lactation consultant whose colorful personality lights up any room. A trained herbalist, Maria is passionate about helping women explore holistic alternatives to traditional medications, empowering them to make informed decisions throughout their pregnancy journey. From planning and peripartum care to postpartum support, Maria advocates for families with love and with care, ensuring both mothers and fathers feel supported and confident through the changes in their relationship that come with pregnancy. Her approach to empowerment is rooted in compassion, education, and a deep commitment to holistic health. Please help me welcome Miss Maria Mease. Okay, Miss Maria, thank you for being here.
Welcome.
As both a doula and lactation consultant, how do you approach postpartum care to ensure new mothers feel confident and supported in their breastfeeding journey, especially when facing challenges?
Ooh, okay. So for me, like my parents know, it's important. Our lactation journey starts before the baby gets here. I'm adamant about teaching them different techniques and different ways to navigate breastfeeding challenges. We go over so many different things, including how to detect if it's mastitis, how to hand express breast milk, because in the beginning, it doesn't just flow like that. So just how to navigate challenges. And I don't always just focus on my moms. I focus on my dads. I call them my doulos because they know, right? In the midnight hour, I might not be there, but they would. And they do an amazing job coaching the mamas, and they do great. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
That's
you're welcome.
important. Thank you for recognizing that. That is important. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of our doulos, okay. From your perspective as a doula, how can couples work together during their postpartum period to not only navigate its challenges, but also strengthen their relationship and deepen their connection as they transition into parenthood?
Um, we go over all of that. That's one thing we do go over in one of our sessions. If they have me as their birth doula, for the most part, we have different sessions, and I dedicate just to postpartum alone because I think it's important to learn how to navigate that space because it's a tender one. You're getting a whole new like girlfriend, wife, and you have to learn how to support her, right? I always say this is the one thing that you can't put on the baby registry. So let's zero in on that. Let's talk about the hormones. Let's talk about situations. And I always talk about setting boundaries because everybody's role is changing. Mom, dad, even the pets, everybody, grandma, everybody's role is changing. And I'm big on that. I even go ahead and talk about having a date night because you get so caught up in the baby and you forget about each other. And that's important. That's important for them and it's important for me being their doula.
That's key, really and truly. I mean, listen, these are some tips everybody needs to hear because when we first have our children, I mean, there's no mother, no father that gets like this magic book that can say, "Oh, well, this is what you need to do." It's life experience that teaches us these things, and a lot of these topics that these lovely ladies and our panelists are touching on are things that are not often spoke about. So it's like an honor, honestly, seriously. Even someone that experienced postpartum who had no idea about any education, just walked into everything blindly, it is a relief to hear all of you speak about the things that you the perspective that is so key that can help to make everyone's experience going forward better. And then it plants a seed that they can take and share with someone who might be going through it. So, I want to thank you, everyone. I'm like learning so much here. I should have brought a notepad, but thank you. All right. So, my final question for you, Maria, is talk to me about how postpartum affects mothers in the NICU.
Ooh. The NICU will always be my heart. It's really what I say dragged me to this space. It's always been a call, and I've always been like advocating for mothers. And ooh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you know what? This is a safe place, okay?
Yeah.
We love you, and we see the passion. We hear the passion
you.
when you speak.
Thank you.
So it's okay, girl. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the NICU was always a special place for me. I'm a mom of the NICU. I had two NICU babies. My last one being the longest stint. I personally myself was my water broke at 24, had her at 26 weeks. So we stayed a long time. My husband and I stayed a long time in the NICU. And what people don't realize is although you have a patient in the incubator, the baby, they don't realize that you have a pseudo patient. And it's the parents. You're talking about a mom who's possibly going through baby blues. Depending on the like social economic stand, you don't know if she has to be back at her job in 3 more weeks. And who's there to support? Who's going to give her her food? She has to build her body back. And she's going through more than likely a lactation journey to help feed this baby. A lot of moms in the NICU go through a lot of things. It's not just postpartum depression. It's also postpartum depletion, anxiety. When they come home with that NICU baby, those beeping going on, that's still ringing in your head, or the lack of the beeping. Now you're like, wait, is my baby still breathing?
Right.
Now we're talking about the obsession kicks in. Absolutely.
PTSD.
The PTSD. So there's so much when it comes to NICU or early arrival moms, when it comes down to the PMADs that I definitely like to zero in. So, and I just also wanted to piggyback on something from the previous question is in terms of couples, I think we don't focus enough on the dads. A lot of times they feel left out of this experience, but I tell them all the time, you're also an integral part of this experience. And I do have a special fatherhood focus where it's just them and I and mom, of course, can join in, where I focus in on them and deal with all the things that guys are going through and how to help yourself and prepare yourself to support your partner.
Oh, thank you. That's vital. Thank you. We have Miss Megan Salfarlie. Salfarlie. A dedicated postpartum doula, founder of I Am Woman, an organization dedicated to empowering and supporting women during and after birth. With a deep passion for women's empowerment, Megan serves as a vital support system, helping mothers navigate the challenges of postpartum recovery with care and compassion. Highly educated, holding 2 degrees and an active mentor for the youth, Megan is committed to fostering connections within the community and inspiring women to embrace their strength and resilience. Please help me welcome Megan.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, what specific interventions or strategies do you use as a postpartum doula to identify early signs of postpartum depression and help prevent it in the mothers you support?
So, hi everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you. So, I'm a natural empath. So I could read, I could feel you. If you are down, if you are up, I can generate off of that. So my natural God-given gift is how I can feel and sense through depression. And usually it'd be, so I'm not seasoned doula, but I am just started. And because I'm autistic also, I work with like those who suffered with autism. It's nonverbal energy. So you read, you could see the signs, you can feel the energy, and you could sense. And when you sense that someone is down, you want to pick them back up. And that's the goal, is to pull them back up. And when I sense that there's depression, what are your hobbies? What makes you feel lifted? What music can we bring to make vital? How can I help you in the best way I can as to service you? Because that's what I'm here for. So my goal is to be there for you, wholeheartedly, compassionate, authentic. And that's what I'm there for. So seeing the signs of depression is sadness, it's tears, it's overwhelming, it's I can't do this, it's I need to pitch in, I need to go there and be for you, for male or female, because it goes for both.
Absolutely.
They both feel it. And I didn't know that as a mother, and then seeing it with the father, and I'm like, oh my God, it's both of us feeling this. It's not just us, not just me, it's us. Mm-hmm. And so you feel, you pick up the energy, and then you go in.
Right.
And that's where I go, where I'm needed.
That's amazing. To be able to connect with people intuitively and feed them through acts of service, that's amazing.
Oh my God, the compassion from it. You could feel right here, and you could sense what they are lacking, and therefore you want to bring up. And that's where the uplift comes from here.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, how do you empower new mothers to navigate postpartum recovery while building a strong support system for themselves and their families?
Okay, this comes from home. So being a first-time mom and not knowing or navigating what's going on in life, getting back to yourself was the most important part. And I was just talking to those 2 beautiful women right there. By the way, they called you Jesus. They said without you, they wouldn't know where to go. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, we connected. Yes. Oh my God. So amazing. You as well. So going back to the fourth of understanding where you came from and knowing your self-identity. So being a stay-at-home mom, I had my whole nonprofit. I did my work and what I was supposed to do. And then her father's like, you can stay home and we need to take care of the baby. Breastfed for 3 years where my daughter had teeth and was like, Mommy, I need Milky. And I was like, that's the best thing I could do because the immune system's building. And not only that, I'm there for her wholeheartedly, but I lost myself. And that's where I needed to gain was myself back. And that was the hardest part, is putting me back to first, but her in the front. So dealing with that was the most important part, is understanding I need my nails done, I need my hair done, I need my lashes done. Let me go back to me. And so now I created a wellness center that I'm going to advocate for women. So through my nonprofit, it's going to be a wellness center for sauna work, therapy, not only just therapy, acupuncture. Like we need all this. I'm building Long Island first because that's where it is. But sauna, jacuzzi, mineral bath. I'm from Jamaica. My family, we did the Milk River bath. And when I found out that it builds and helps the body with psoriasis and eczema, when the women and the men need their love back into their bodies, I need to build a system. So where you build it, they'll come. And so I need to build something so that we all can get this nourishment and back to our foot so that we can get grounded and step out again and build our children and our families, and we could go back to and build the strength where we deserve. So that's where I'm at. I'm also in the movie Behind the Joy. I'm the actress, horrible to our actress Cochran in the back. I'm the friend that did not understand. But in my soul, I totally understand. We need support. We need love. We need the men. Oh my God, you and you, the husbands that help back that. Oh my gosh, we couldn't do that without you guys. We need man as much as we need woman. So honestly, we couldn't do without the whole group. And creating a wellness. So with my nonprofit, I Am Woman, I'm creating a wellness center for male and female. We could accept insurance. God willing, it's like in the next 6 months, I have my grant writer writing. So we will get this, and we need this. We need another alternative healthcare outlet.
Absolutely.
And in this day and age that we're in, it's beneficial to all of us. Why not do it? Why not? So thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys. All of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. There you go.
Thank you, ladies. Megan, you're very correct. Self-care is vital, especially after navigating pregnancy, especially as a first-time mother, right? When you kind of have to figure out how to put someone else before you. Getting back to yourself can be a major challenge that women face for years. Even
Find love
after it's
within
like,
you.
yeah, we get so lost in just caring for our kids, right? We put our kids, we put
First.
our husbands, our families, everyone in
Everything
front
first.
of us.
Yes.
And then, sometimes we kind of die inside a little bit, so it is.
So there was another doula. She's actually Italian, white woman. She was like, after giving birth, you kind of mourn the death of you from the past. You mourn the death of you from who you were before being a mom, because you end up being selfless and giving yourself completely to someone else. Yeah, because you want them to be better than you were. Right. If you're a good mom, let's put that out. If you're a good mom. But me, I've got the therapist, my best friend in the back. She's also a panelist in the back. Tasha, I've known since a child. Jamal, like we've been raised as family together. And to see everyone develop to where we are, don't smile like that in the back. Over here, she's my therapist is 5 years old. Brandon, amazing woman. She's gonna be a panelist. Don't you do that. But she's amazing. Like you don't know who God has aligned in your life. And when you put it into perspective, and then you bring all these blocks together, and you're like, oh, this is forming. It's amazing. And you see it, and you're not alone. You're not alone. That's the biggest part. You're not alone. And that's where I want to bring the community of us together as a color, not just our color, but all colors and shades and diversity. Doula has been in our souls from since we were like back then. I'm Jamaican and Arabian, so my people like back inheritance. We've been doing this, so to bring this to this earth now, in this space and time, there's help for alternative medicine and alternative healthcare. Let's go for the stars. Honestly, let's go. And together, as a community, it's the best thing. As people of color, love it. Love to see it. Jamal, thank you. I need to say thank you to you in this film. Cockroach, you're amazing. She didn't give birth, but she did an amazing job on this film. I cried several times. My daughter cried as well. This hits home. It's postpartum. We're not alone. It's a Black thing, but not us just alone. It's for all of us. Thank you, guys.